So our fam showed yesterday why she... Look, I'm going to stand by it if she should have been number one. I'm going to stand by it. And I'm going to explain in this video why I'm going to talk, why I think she should have been number one. No question about it. Even though I think if you take Olivia Miles, if you're the Dallas Wings, that's an okay decision as well. Because obviously the Dallas Wings wanted veteran bigs around Paige. They wanted to take Alana Smith. They didn't want young players. They didn't want to develop players. They wanted to win now. And do I think that was a smart decision? No. Because I think the Dallas Wings are a 500 team. And I think that they're a team that if they would do well to win 24 games. Like if they go 24-20 and lose in the first round, it's been a good season. And I feel like taking AZ Fudd is just like, we've seen how good AZ Fudd is, how good AZ Fudd can be, but like when you take a player in a league where there are a lot of shooters, maybe there aren't a lot of AZ Fudd level shooters, but there are an awful lot of shooters. You also, when it comes down to it, plays the same position as Arike, but her entire game on the offensive end is makes and misses. And when you've got Paige Bueckers, who, as much as her gravity is her gravity, like, I don't love her as a playmaker. I think she's a good secondary playmaker. I think she can make good late shot clock reads. I don't love Paige Bueckers as a playmaker. I think she's she's passable enough that she can play reps as your primary ball handler. But I think she, as your secondary playmaker, is ideal. I think the most ideal, everyone's talking about the most ideal scenario for the Dallas Wings. And in terms of their offense and what you want beside Paige, you actually don't want Arike there at all. Like you basically want if the Dallas, like hypothetically, if Minnesota, if Cheryl Reeve was there and they ran the Minnesota offense where it's basically the double point guards going your turn, my turn with a pick and roll big. Like if you had Jess Shepard, who's a super high IQ pick and roll big in that, it would absolutely work with Olivia Miles. So I like the Olivia Miles one makes sense. And I think the real debate for who should have went number one is between Awa and Olivia Miles. And for me, it's like, do you want to wait a year for Awa? Do you want to wait that 2 years for Awa? Because Dominique Malonga is like, people don't understand. She's 20 years old. Like Dominique Malonga is over 2 years younger than Lauren Betts. Lauren Betts is like coming into the WNBA being like, oh, I don't like screening. And like, oh, I'm so used to the high-lows. I'm so used to like running high-lows. And I'm like, okay, that's a concern. And it's the reason why I wasn't high on Lauren Betts in it. I said she was a terrible screener. She excelled in drop coverage, and I didn't expect her to be able to switch to the W level, which she's not. Awa, you're seeing in her footwork, she can guard the pick and roll significantly better than Lauren Betts. And I think there's also a question there's also something to be said for the fact that there is a severe shortage of modern basketball centers. And in terms of Olivia Miles, like she might be one of the 3 best pick and roll maestros in the league immediately. But like pick and roll maestros exist. They do. Those pick and roll maestro point guards exist. A player that can read the pick and roll like Awa doesn't. At 6'6", like you're looking at that roll here. You're looking at the 3 things she gets from the pick and roll. So it's a hard roll, easy step through there, and she popped and missed a 3. And in this one here, she sees the drop coverage, goes into the short roll, bang. Like I remember I watched a scout breakdown, and they literally said I was a bad pick and roll player because when she screens she doesn't hit people hard. And I'm like, it's the W, that's if you connect on a screen, it's an offensive foul 70% of the time. Like what you want is good feel. You want someone to know when they can roll, when they should pop, with the ability to pop for 3, with the ability to pop for mid, and with the ability to act as a post hub. Like, especially if you are around Paige Bueckers, where you don't need Paige, you don't need Awa to score, give you 20 points. You need Awa to be your Aaliyah Boston. And like for me, that's kind of what everyone wants to talk about her. Like, oh yeah, she's like NECA, she's this, she's that. I think she's a more athletic, bigger like height-wise, but less aggressive, Aaliyah Boston. And yes, there are question marks about Awa. And that is the main argument against taking Awa Pham number 1 in a redraft. The main argument against it is absolutely that there are counters. I said there are flaws. There are flaws. There are flaws to her game. And one of the main ones is the physicality is not there. But what big in world basketball, what 19-year-old big comes in and is, what 19-year-old finesse big at that comes in and is physically dominant? Like, I'm going to show you guys how Dominique Malonga got on to start the season as a rookie. So, obviously, is a player now, born in November 2005. So 3 years younger than AZ Foot, averaging 16 a game. She came in last year averaging 7.7 points per game. But let's take a look at the game log. This is where it's important. So you look at the game log as a rookie. Played 1 minute against Dallas. I think she was getting DNPs. 2, 2, 2, 8, 2, 4. 8, 6, 6, 8, 2, 7, 0, 6, 4, 11, 2, 0, 11, 0, 4, 0, 0. And then, when she starts getting a bit more of a run, I think she got a bit more of a run. Someone got injured probably in this game here. She had 6, but 12, 12, 20, 20, 4, 12, 4, 15, 22, 17, 8, 13, 8, 9, 9. And let's not forget the postseason. Let's not forget the postseason where this is a hilarious one because you're looking at 11 and 10, but she outplayed Angel Wilson. And even in this game right here, what did she do? She got a game-winning stop on Angel Wilson at 19 years old. And Awa is way ahead of Malonga when Malonga walked into the league, as far as a player is concerned. Because Awa Pham already plays the game like she's a 10-year vet in here. She's already as smart as a 10-year vet. The only question is now, with Awa, just like last year, no one is, like, in my opinion, I would take Malonga in a redraft over Paige. I would. But you're not crazy if you think Paige is the better option, because Paige is going to be one of the greatest guards ever. It's going to be similar to that. The only reason you shouldn't have Awa number 1 in a redraft, or you shouldn't have had Awa number 1 in the first place, is if you believe Dominique Malonga or Olivia Miles is going to be a generational player. Because there are a lot of pick and roll bigs. Heck, even Portland found some 35-year-old Jan Oblak's sister who's an elite pick and roll maestro. Not Olivia Miles good, but like they exist. They do exist. These modern bigs don't exist because US college basketball does not make them. Players can be molded into being modern bigs in the league, in the WNBA, especially with the way new coaches are. With all the new coaches coming from the NBA, and very few hires from teams that don't have experience outside the WNBA. But modern basketball is taking over. And if you look coming up through in college, like, I don't think Clara Strack's a modern big. She's the best big in next year's draft. The following year, Sarah Strong, absolutely. Absolutely. But it's now at the stage where you're going to have to start looking to Europe. And a lot of the American players now, the good ones, aren't going to go overseas and develop in that style. They're going to stay at home playing a rival in AU, which is an American style. And you're hearing it with Washington, like, the players don't, like, Lauren Betts doesn't have a fucking clue how to play in a pro system. Everyone's like, Corey Close plays a pro-style offense. What do you mean? She plays a high-low with double bigs. They played Texas, and it was like 21-19 going into the fourth. Ain't no pro-style offense in that. But that's because they shoot some threes. But yeah, I think if you believe Olivia Miles is going to be one of the top 10 players in the world soon, then yeah, cool. You can take her at number 1. But there is no argument whatsoever for that, like, even for anyone to have taken AZ over Awa. There's actually not. There wasn't at the time. There's even less of an argument now. And that's not even a knock on AZ Foot. I think AZ Foot's going to be a player. Like AZ Foot's gonna be a super efficient third option for her entire career. And that's not a bad player to have. And her defense has impressed me at the pro, but like that's not Awa. Awa's a lot better than that. But anyway, I'll see you guys. Or at least projects to be a lot better than that. There's a much better prospect than that. And I'm sorry, you don't draft best available right now in the draft. You draft who's gonna help you win a title. And Awa beside Paige would have made Dallas unfair